What's up, guys? Welcome back to Tabletop Wizards. Today I'm going to give you a rundown of my new game, Bloody Hollow, which is currently active on BackerKit. You can go and check it out now and give us some support. The link will be in the description below. I had a few requests after the last Let's Play for a more simplified version to kind of explain and elaborate on what I was doing as I played, so that way you guys could follow along. I thought it would be a good opportunity to teach my friend John how to play. We kind of briefly did a run through here, but I'm still going to explain the rules as we're going, and you're still kind of learning, so it'll be a good opportunity for them to get a better understanding of the game's mechanics and how it works. We went ahead, we made some characters. John, you are going to be playing John today, right? The Scholar?
Yeah, John the Scholar.
Okay, and then I'll be playing Cornelius, and I took the Hunter background for my character. We'll be playing the first scenario, which is called A Warm Welcome. And I'll give a brief introduction, and then we'll jump right into it. So, strange tales of occult happenings and dark curses have long plagued the quiet and sleepy town of Bloody Hollow. In recent days, these afflictions seem to have only worsened. To the mayor's dismay, the zenith came when his son Johann mysteriously vanished without trace. In desperation, the mayor has sent word for aid to any who might heed it. Calling to neighboring towns and villages, he sets a search in motion, offering a generous reward for any tidings of his son. Hearing this call, you make your way to Bloody Hollow, guided by a local woodsman, and venture towards the nearby woods. Following a trail of blood to the forest edge, you are welcomed by swarms of bats. Emerging from the dark corners of the lands, these bats seem to behave with strange malice. The setup for this scenario is a 3 foot by 3 foot table, which is standard for games of Bloody Hollow. Players set the terrain in a way that depicts the road leading to Bloody Hollow. So I just put a little farmhouse and some cornfields here. And then you place trees and wooded features running along one of the table edges, which we've gone ahead and already done. This represents the forest edge. And then we deploy the heroes on the side opposite of that with the woodsman villager within 3 inches of the board edge here. Then we deploy 1 bat swarm per player in the direct center of each of the remaining table edges, which we've gone and we've already deployed them. We're playing with 5 bat swarms because I'm 1 shy, but I think the point still gets crossed. The last thing that you do is you place 1d3 plus 2 blood tokens in a line across the center of the table, creating a trail that leads from the hero's deployment to the forest edge. Each token should be at least 4 inches apart from one another. Why don't you go ahead and roll a 6-sided die to figure out how many of these blood tokens we should have down.
2.
So 2, it would actually be 1 plus 2, because it's a D3 plus 2. So it's going to be 3 tokens in this. This one will spread them apart like that. That looks good to me. And then the special rules and the victory conditions for this game. So the victory conditions, we are victorious if we can investigate all 3 of those blood tokens and then escape through the forest. And the special rules, if we come within 1 inch of any of the blood tokens, you can spend an action to investigate it. The difficulty of the investigation is 2 plus the order they're found in. So the first one would be 3, the second one would be 4, the third one would be 5. For this scenario, the bat swarms automatically pass their endless swarm ability. Endless swarm ability on bat swarms basically just makes it so when they're slain, you roll a d6 on a 5 plus, they respawn. And for this scenario, they are going to automatically pass that respawning in their deployment zones every time they're knocked down. So they're just going to keep coming as we're trying to investigate these blood tokens and get to the other side of the table. So we got to be quick about killing them and efficient in getting across. And then the last thing of note is that villagers in Bloody Hollow all behave with a certain set of things that they need to do in a specific order. And in this scenario, the woodsman, our guide, has kind of his own rules that override what a typical villager model would do in the game. For him, he's going to be moving directly towards that forest edge instead of the nearest table edge like a normal villager would. And if he gets to that table edge, he's going to wait for us. He's our guide. He's not going to exit without us. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay, cool. So, games of Bloody Hollow operate in rounds, and those rounds are broken down into 3 phases: the hero phase, the villager phase, and then the monster phase. After you go through those 3 phases in that sequence, start at the top Repeat. So the hero phase, heroes, which would be us, our characters, activate by order of their wits value. Being that you took the scholar background, I'm sure your wits value is higher than mine. You have a wits of 3, right?
I do.
And I have a wits of 2, which means, John, you get to take the first turn.
Okay.
So you can either take 2 single actions in Bloody Hollow, or you can take 1 double action. The single actions include things like moving, fighting, and shooting, or investigating. Double actions would be like sprinting, charging, or reloading a flintlock weapon under normal circumstances. So what would you like to do, John?
Can I get within range of that first token?
With a standard movement, because your deft is what?
My deft is 2.
Okay. So movement on foot in Bloody Hollow is 3 inches, like a standard movement is 3 inches plus your deft value. So you can move up to 5 inches in a single movement, which would not get you within range of investigating. However, you could choose to sprint there, but that would be your entire turn. Okay, so sprinting is basically, it's 2 movement actions, just like as they regularly would be, and then you get an additional 1 inch on top of that. So in this case, you would be able to move 5, 5 for a total of 10, and then you get +1 for sprinting, so you can move up to 11. So what do you want to...
I still want to be within 1 inch of...
But past it?
Yep.
Something like that?
Perfect.
Cool. To position you to get to the next one?
Yep.
If need be?
And grab that first one.
Cool. I think I'm also going to sprint. However, I'm going to run past you. My deft is 3. I'm a little bit faster. So my standard movement would be 6, which means I can move 13 if I sprint. Really get me up there. Boom. That's the end of the hero phase, which then brings us on to the villager phase. And Homeboy is going to go here. He also has a depth of 3, so his standard movement would be 6. And he's just going to move as directly as possible to the exit nearest edge as per the scenario description and special rules. So that's the end of the hero phase. The villager phase, we move on to the monster phase. And monsters, basically, they're pretty simple. They have some of their own traits that sometimes override the way that they behave, or scenarios may have specific things that override normal monster behavior, kind of like how the Woodsman's has scenario-specific behaviors that override typical villager behavior. But in this case, the bat swarms are just going to charge towards their nearest enemy. And monsters are like regular characters in that they have their standard movement of 3 inches plus their deft value. The bats have a very high deft value of 5, so they're going to move 8 inches directly towards the nearest enemy, which I think in the case of all of these is going to be towards me. Cool. And then the last thing that you would do at the end of the monster phase, every round you would do a sanity check, which basically you roll a d3 and you have to roll under your sanity value. Otherwise your sanity breaks and you begin fleeing in terror from the board. Given that our starting sanity is above what we could possibly roll for the sanity check, we don't have to do it this round. We're fine. So that would bring us back to the hero phase. Starting with the hero with the highest wits value would be John.
I'm going to investigate.
You're going to do an investigate action.
Hopefully.
Cool. So to do an investigation check, you roll your wits value, and you are going to put that against the difficulty of the specific investigation. As I mentioned in this scenario, it's 2 plus the order that these blood tokens appear in. So this first one is going to have a difficulty of 3.
5.
Cool.
Plus 2, 7.
So just to clarify on what you're doing here. So the way that
5 plus, I have 2 5s, right, on a skill check?
Yeah. So there's a couple things that are happening here. So when you do any of your dice rolls in Bloody Hollow, basically you're rolling the overlying core statistic, and then you're adding the statistical bonus. So the way that the stats read, like your wits is 3/+2. So you're rolling 3 dice, and then you're adding a +2 to the high result to give you your total result. In this specific case, the scholar has a special skill called Brainiac, which makes it so results of 5 act like duplicate 6s. Basically, 6s in this game explode, so that you'd roll a number of dice, and the first high result, if you got a 6, would be the automatic high result, because on a d6, the highest you can roll is a 6. Every additional 6 after that would add a cumulative +2. Because you have the Brainiac skill, it makes it so on your wits rolls, your 5s also count as a +2. So your first 5 that you rolled on your 3 dice roll was your high result. And then you had another 5, which added another +2. So actually your total result was 7 + 2 was 9.
Okay.
Does that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, clear it up. Point is, you crushed it. You investigated that first blood token thoroughly and made it happen. Cool. And that was only one action, so what do you want to do for your second action? Because you can do 2 single actions in a turn. Investigation's only 1 action.
I'm not within 8 inches of any of my targets, so
You can
I would...
pre-measure in Bloody Hollow, and you are not.
I will move my movement forward.
Directly forward?
Yep. Straight line.
Put you like on top of me, so you
And
can
go
do
one side.
that.
Yep.
Just a little bit to the side. Cool. And then it's my turn. I'm gonna fire. I'll fire this lone. No. I'm gonna fire at this one, I guess. My musket. So my depth value is 3 + 1, again, meaning I roll 3 d6s and then add a 1 to the high value. So I got a 7 for my high, and then we're doing an opposing roll here. So the bat is going to roll 5 dice because it's got a depth value of 5.
1 6.
1 6, okay. So I deal, because I got equal to or higher in a ranged attack, I deal my weapon damage plus 1 point of damage for every differential in our rolls. So my high result was a 7. The bat's high result was a 6, which means it's going to be my musket's weapon damage of 3 plus 1 for the differential, which is 4 damage all day, which is enough to kill the bat. Now again, bats automatically pass their endless swarm in this scenario, so we're going to put it back to where it spawned, and at the beginning of next round, it's going to come back onto the stage. Yeah, exactly. Okay, and that was 1 action for me. For my second action, I'm going to do a reload, and I'm able to do it for a single action because I elected to take the ballistics expert skill, which bumps reloading flintlock weapons down to a single action instead of a double action. So I am loaded, but I'm sitting where I am. And then it's our villager's turn. The woodsman is definitely within range of any of these with his musket. This is the closest one, so he's going to fire his musket at that bat. Do you want to roll for the woodsman?
Sure.
He's got a depth skill of 3. 3 plus 0.
5.
5 is the high result, and I'll roll for the bat.
6.
Fortunately, I got a 6, so it's a miss.
Okay.
Then he would do the standard villager procedure, which would be take a move towards the nearest table edge. As I said, this scenario, we treat the woods as the nearest table edge for the woodsman for all movements. So he moves his depth value plus 3 inches, 6 inches in a straight line in that direction, and then he automatically reloads his weapon because villagers are able to do that. So his musket is back to being loaded. Cool, that's the villager phase, and then we move into the monster phase. So all these monsters begin swarming in. First bat charges down its nearest target, which is him. This bat charges down its nearest target, which is you. This bat charges down its nearest target, which is you, but it doesn't get within 1 inch. And this bat charges down its nearest target, which is also you, but I moved that really awkward. There we go. Okay. So then we got combats here. We'll do the woodsman's first. So why don't you roll for the woodsman, and I'll roll for the bat. Bats only have a brawn of 1.
What's
1
his?
plus 0. His is 3 plus 0.
Okay.
So you're going to be rolling 3 dice against my 1 dice. I got a 4 as my high result.
6.
Okay. So he easily chops it down with his hatchet, which means endless swarm. It'll go back to its spawn point. And then we have a combat for you. Why don't you roll for yourself and I'll roll for the bat.
Okay. 1.
It also got a 1.
So we both take a damage?
So you both take a damage. You exchange weapon damage. You have a hatchet, which is 4, which is more than enough to kill the bat. It has a bite, which is just 1. But it's dead. And then we each take a point of sanity damage because you took a damage and I witnessed you taking a damage. So the bat has a terror of 1, which is how much sanity it deals. I took 1, you took 1.
Yep.
Cool. And then it is back to the top of the hero phase. So starting with you, John.
I'm going to move and investigate the next token.
Okay.
I'm going to let you guys fight my
Do you want to set up on the other side? What do you want to do?
Yeah, you can set up on the other side within 1 inch of it.
Let's do that.
So we're still moving forward. And I'm going to roll 3 wits.
And this has a difficulty of 4.
And I have 5, so
Okay.
that's 7.
Another successful investigation by our scholar here.
And that will be my turn.
Okay. I'll fire at the bat that's right in front of you on my turn. So 3 plus 1 for my death skill. I got a 6. You want to roll 5 dice to see if the bat can dodge?
It got a 6.
Okay, so I deal my weapon damage, which is enough to kill it. It's going to go back to its spawn point.
Is it off or on?
Okay, sorry. That one's off. These ones should have came back on at the beginning of that round. That one is still off because I just killed it this round.
Okay.
These ones should have came
Just
back on
come
at the
back
beginning of... Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And then I'm going to... I'm going to get in between you and this bat so it charges me on its turn.
Well, we still have the woodsman. Hopefully he knocks him out. Come on, woodsman.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to touch it, so that way he can still do a shot without potentially hitting me. So I'm going to like just position myself between you guys. And right now my musket is out of ammo. I didn't take the action to reload. So now it's the villager's turn. He's going to try and shoot at that bat swarm. You want to roll for him or roll for the bat?
I'll roll for the bat this time.
Okay. 3 threes. So he got a 3 for his high number.
And I got to roll 5 of these.
5, yeah. Not looking good.
Come on, all ones. 6.
Okay. Dodges. And he does his movement. Okay, now it's the bat's turn. This one charges me. These 2 would charge towards you. This one would charge towards me. And that one's not on the board yet because I just killed it at the top of this round. Why don't you do the combat for that bat and me? So my brawn is 2 plus 0.
Mine is 1 plus 0 for the thing.
I got
4.
5.
All right.
Sweet.
Got it.
So I slay that bat, which means that's going to redeploy at the beginning of next round. That is all the monster combats. We would potentially have to do a sanity check. What's your sanity at right now?
8.
So you would automatically pass yours, and mine's 5, which means I would automatically pass mine. I can't. Because when you do a sanity check, just for the sake of clarity on this, you roll a d3, and if you roll higher than your sanity. So the highest you could possibly roll is a 3, which means basically if you're above a sanity of 4, you can never technically fail it. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're just kind of skipping it right now. Okay. But if one of us gets down to 3, then we definitely have to actively do that. Cool. So now it's back to the beginning of the round, which means these 2 bats respawn because of Endless Swarm in this scenario. And John, what do you want to do?
I want to sprint.
You're going to do a sprint. So double movement for you, which would be 10, and then you get the extra 1 from sprinting.
And put me on 1.
Past it?
Yep.
So 11 inches is going to put you right there.
All right.
My turn. I'm going to reload and shoot. And I will shoot at the one that is...
Really?
I think it might be too far, actually.
Yeah. Also, make sure you're...
Yeah, am I within range?
What do you have, 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
This is a tough decision.
I know, you should knock one of those guys back.
Which one? Well, that thing, is that within 8 of you? Is that going to be able to charge you?
Yeah, it is. That's fine.
But your melee is so bad.
That's fine. Don't worry
I
about
would
me.
rather, yeah, but I would rather.
He's going to roll 5 dice against your shot.
I'm feeling good. I'm shooting.
Plus,
I'm
this
shooting,
guy's going to come within
I'm
what?
shooting it.
What's this, 6? And then he'll shoot at him.
I'm shooting it. I'm going for it.
Okay. Go for the
I'm
gusto.
helping my buddy.
I want you to
All
live.
right, so I got a 3 + 1. You got a 5 + 0. I got a 7.
5.
I killed it.
You did. And you didn't move.
Nope.
Nice.
Now I'll
Now
move.
you can run. Run, my friend. Run. Run, you fools.
Fly, you fools. All right. Cool. And then
I was taking a chance.
yeah. Now it's the villager's turn. He moves 6. And then it is the bats. So 8. 8. 8. Oh boy. 8. Yeah.
Top of the order.
We don't have to do a sanity check because we're all above 3 sanity. Top of the order, that bat's going to respawn. Technically, we can exit anywhere off that. We don't have to exit on the center point. So, like, if we have to go around, you know what I mean? Like, if we have to skirt around that, we definitely should do that. But why don't you go ahead, John?
I'm going to investigate.
Okay. And this one would have a difficulty of 6.
All right.
Right? Or no, 5.
5. 7 right there.
All right. Cool.
All right.
So that was the last blood token, which now means we're free to exit to win the scenario here. So now we can just beeline it. Why don't you... You should just like run diagonally. Do you have both ammo in your pistols still?
I do.
So why don't you run diagonally, like kind of away from that, but enough that you're in range that you can take a shot at that one that's now blocking our path?
Why don't I just shoot at it and we run out of here? Because he would be...
Are you within 8?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. You can do that.
I'll do that. Let's try
I just didn't want it respawning on top of us if we don't. But I guess, yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, what's your def skill?
2.
Just a flat 2 versus my 5.
2 + 1. Come on, 6. 5.
This one's cocked. Oh boy. Oh, I got a 5. You got a 5
Beats,
total?
beats. Yeah, 5.
Oh yes, there you go. Okay.
All right, so it knocks him down.
Knocks it out.
All right.
And
That's my turn.
That's your turn. Okay. I'm gonna. Oh man. I don't know if I should just reload and shoot and try and take one of these down, or if I should run forward.
Run forward.
Yeah, I should probably run forward because then they'll charge the the woodsman. You want to move me 6 forward? Okay. Now it's our woodsman's turn. He's going to fire his musket at the closest one. What looks closest? Probably this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you roll for him and I'll roll for the bat.
3 rollies.
Yep, 3 deft.
6.
Got it.
It was 6, 5, 5.
Okay, then he moves 6 towards the table edge.
Oops.
Cool. Then it's the bats. They're going to come for you. Okay, that one's in combat
Okay.
with you.
That's fine. It's only 1. That'll be 2.
This one's in combat with you. Yep.
That's fine.
This one
I'm not going to make it.
is not going to make it yet. Okay, so first one, that's a brawn of 1 + 0.
He's a good +1,
But he gets
right?
+1 because he's in combat with an ally.
4.
3, so you both did 4, so you're going to take a damage, but you're going to kill it. That's good. All right.
And sanity.
And I'm going to take a sanity damage as well. I'm down to 4 because I just witnessed that.
And this guy doesn't get a plus.
Now it doesn't get a plus, so we're doing a flat roll off here. I got a 2.
1.
But you should use a destiny.
All right, I'll use
So
destiny.
use a destiny to re-roll.
4.
Oh, okay, then nice. There you go. That's better. Okay, so that bat's down.
One
You're down to 1 destiny.
Yep.
And
Top of the order.
do you have how much? You probably have plenty of sanity, right? You don't have to do a terror check.
7. I'm at.
Okay, and I'm at 4, so I'm almost to the point where I would have to start doing it, but I'm okay for the moment. Yep. So top of the round, the endless swarms, they respawn. Yep. Cool. And then John, what do you want to do?
Can I sprint?
Yeah.
Why don't I just sprint straight forward?
Sure. And I'll follow you and win.
Yeah, it's definitely within. Because I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna sprint.
Cool.
Off. And then you'll
My
sprint.
turn, and I'll sprint off, and that means we win the scenario. Nice.
Nice.
Well done. Cool. Cool. So that was the first scenario from the game. John, thank you for playing.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching. Please take the time to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And if you are interested in Bloody Hollow and want to find out more about it, it is currently active on BackerKit. You can go to the link in the description below, check out what's going on with the game, and give us support. We're towards the tail end of the crowdfunding here, so every dollar helps. Making books and miniatures is expensive, so we greatly appreciate anything you can throw towards the game. And what's more, there is a free demo available for download. You don't even have to back us to check out the demo, but if you want to try a little solo scenario to get an idea of the game for yourself, you can go to the BackerKit page and download that and check it out for yourself. Thank you so much for watching, John. Thank you again, and we'll catch you in the next video.